Hello, and welcome to this week's video blog from the Center for Human Awakening. My name is Rob Meeker. I'm co-founder of the center. Our video blog this week will feature a reading from Richard Harvey's book, Your Essential Self. And the title of the reading is Relationships and Projection. An intimate relationship, partnership, or marriage is one of the most potent catalysts for wholeness and authenticity there is. Relationships can also be the most deathly and least life-enhancing environment for the human spirit. It all depends on honest and open communication, deepening and growing in intimacy, and the courage and willingness to venture into unknown territory together. Love relationships have the power to re-stimulate the unresolved issues of our early childhoods, because when we are in love, we are at our most open and vulnerable. Since most of us didn't get all we needed or wanted in our early lives, these same needs and desires arise in our relationships and are often expressed inappropriately. We may have the unrealistic expectation that our partner can fulfill all our needs. We may idealize our partner who can then only fall from grace and disappoint us. We will never find a partner who meets all our historical desires because these desires belong to the past. They are part of our frozen history. Relationships compel us to face ourselves and offer us the chance to resolve the unfinished business of childhood because they reopen our issues around dependence, nurture, and care. For those of us without a loving relationship, the promise of finding someone can unleash idealistic fantasies. We can dream about how lovely it will be when we find that special person who will cherish and care for us. From a distance, a loving relationship is all soft focus, comfortable and idealized. But relationships have the potential to take us to the very edges of our personalities and uncover the hidden aspects of ourselves that we hoped no one would ever see. Relationships insist that we grow, open our hearts, and become authentic. A relationship that measures its success on pleasure and fulfillment is hard enough. But when a relationship is considered primarily as a vehicle for growth, we open ourselves up to profound psychological and spiritual challenges. The journey of human love may be the most profound activity for a human life, depending as it does on our ability to know not only ourselves, but also to know our partner. A growthful relationship must be firmly founded on awareness, clarity, acceptance, and trust. Difficulties arise when one partner wants a growthful relationship, while the other is content with comfort and warm familiarity. The partner who wants more is most likely to become the agent of the breakup. The prospect of breaking up is what most often causes a couple to look more deeply at their relationship. Usually, one half of the couple is for and one is against the relationship continuing. This polarization is the outcome of the interdependent projective aspect of the relationship, which began at the couple's first meeting. When we first meet someone who we are to develop a relationship with, a highly complex exchange happens. Unconsciously, we offer denied aspects of ourselves to each other, and the dynamics of the relationship are created. These dynamics give the relationship its fundamental form and dictate its unfolding. Through the psychic exchange, each partner now possesses a part of the other. Over time, the two partners become polarized and resentful because the other has a part of them that prevents them from being their whole self. The buried negativity arising from persistent compromise rises to the surface as the years go by and finally spills out in burgeoning resentment which poisons the relationship. Couples in difficulty must inevitably separate to join. The separation must take place whether the two partners stay together or break up. Only by separating and finding a sense of themselves as individuals are they enabled to relate to each other anew, perhaps for the first time. Strong, healthy boundaries enable relationship, as we saw earlier in Your Essential Self. But how do loving relationships turn sour? How is it that the future partner we see across a crowded room and are immediately attracted to turns out, after the honeymoon period is over, to be just like the previous partner who we learned to despise? The answer: we must look in more detail at the psychic exchange that takes place at the first meeting of the two individuals who become a couple. In laws of physics, opposites attract, but in interpersonal relationships, the reverse is true. Similars attract. The way in which this works is unconscious and mysterious. We meet someone and experience a strong attraction. During that first meeting, we establish a contract, a binding agreement in which inner aspects of ourselves are exchanged through the process of projection. We may give the other our beauty, our confidence, or our ability. Our future partner unconsciously invites and accepts these inner qualities to compensate for an imbalance or lack that she or he feels inside. This exchange of qualities goes on quite invisibly and unbelievably rapidly when we meet a prospective partner. The success of this invisible process is so crucial to the emerging relationship that its failure is more common than we imagine. We are usually only aware of this mating ritual as a charged social interaction. The remainder of the relationship may well consist of attempts at taking back and reowning the projected qualities that we gave each other and that were ours all along. This is often painful. We have, after all, projected the qualities onto the other because we had a reason to deny them. We are resistant to taking them back because the defenses of our character depend on our projecting certain qualities successfully to substantiate our character and justify our defense. Suppose, for example, that a key element of our character defense is unlovableness. Then we need to wear our partner down, however much they may love us, until they give in to negativity toward us and confirm that we are unlovable. Most often, even amid the difficulties, the partner we are with is the right one for us. The two people in a love relationship are merged and somewhat mixed up as a result of exchanging projections. Consequently, when a couple is divided over the inner journey, one is most likely acting out the inner search for the relationship as a whole, one expressing resistance, the other expressing willingness. Since projection is unconscious, the desire of the resistant one is hidden, even from themselves. It is perhaps unsurprising, then, that when a couple break up because one of them is practicing inner work and the other is against it, the resistant one finds him or herself on his or her own inner journey after a few months doing what he or she had been so opposed to in his or her partner when they were in the relationship. The end of the relationship has meant that he or she can retrieve the part of him or her that wants to find out who they are, and without the partner carrying that projected hurt, is now able to do it for themselves and face this resistance, balanced with their enthusiasm to explore.